Well, it's finally time. I've been waiting all winter for this, and it's finally here. It is time to start the garden seeds for this year's garden. So I figured I'd bring you along, show you how I do it, show you what I use. This is always an exciting time because it's cheating by getting a head start on the garden when it's really too cold to even have a garden outside. As it is right now, it's still March. I'm in zone 6A. Way too early to be planting anything really outside that you care about. I haven't even tilled up the garden. If you've been following us, you'll know that we expanded the garden this year, and it's going to be bigger. Last year we had about 120 transplants, may have been a little more, give or take. But this year with the bigger garden, we need more plants, more transplants. We try to transplant pretty much everything that you can, and I'm just going to show you how I do it. Not a master gardener, but I do all right. So this is how it's done here at the homestead here. So here's my little arsenal of garden starting goodies here. I've got my seeds. These are all my seeds that I got to start just the different varieties. I'm not going to start all those seeds. That would be I would be a farmer if I started all those seeds. But I got all my seeds categorized in what they are in a nifty little holder. I got these two these two packs here. I just ordered them online. I was doing something a little different here that you don't find up here, so I had to order these seeds. And I figured I'd just give a shout out to this company that I got these from. It's called Santos Family Farm out of Callahan, Florida. I needed some zipper cream peas, and that's not common up here. It's common back where I'm from, and no one up here knows anything about field peas. So I got online and tried to find where I could find them. They're not that easily found, but I did find this one company that I could get them from. And the reason I'm giving them a shout out is because they sent me a free packet of seeds. I ordered these zipper cream peas, but they threw this in free. So it's Little Marvel. It's an English pea. Never grown English peas in the past because I really don't care for them. Everybody says that if you've ever had fresh grown English peas, that they're really delicious. I have never had that. So I figured, well, since they sent me a free pack, for one, I'd give them a shout out. I'll give a shout out to anybody that sends me something free. And I don't know if they just do that. Obviously, they don't know me and I don't know them. I guess they just throw in a free seed pack if you order something from them. But I'll take it and I'll throw it in the garden, see if I can grow some English peas and see if there really is a difference between the ones you buy in the can and the ones you grow on your own. Next, we have this is my seed starting tray. This is, again, something else I bought for this growing season. The manufacturer of this is called, if I can get it to shine here, it's made in the USA, and it's PropTek, P-R-O-P-T-E-K, and it's a 162 cell tray. These things are really, really nice. They're really heavy duty. It's not those real cheap, flimsy ones. I can't remember where I got these from because I bought them last year. But whoever I bought it from, I think it was like Mega Garden Store. I can't remember, but it doesn't matter. Just do a search for PropTek if you're interested in this kind of setup here. And it's the same place I got this bottom tray, so it doesn't make a mess. And while I was at it, I think if you ordered a certain amount or what have you, it may or may not, don't quote me on that, but I think I needed a little bit more to make it free shipping, so I bought a second one of these bottom trays because I thought, well, I'll use it as a humidity dome. You don't have to have a humidity dome, and obviously it won't be see-through, but again, I just got the free shipping, I believe is how that worked. But regardless, I wanted the tray. I wanted the seed tray, this 162 cell tray to start my seeds. And then over here, I got some Jiffy natural seed starting mix. Now I got that at Walmart. You can go get this. This is it's a, I don't know how much it says it is, 3.4 pounds. But you need to use seed starting mix. You don't want to use potting soil. You don't want to use dirt that you're going to go out in your backyard and dig up. You want to get something that is specifically made for seed starting. There's a whole host of reasons for that. I won't get into all that. I'm just going to let you know. Grab you a bag of this. It's I believe it's $5 at the local Walmart here, and it's worth it. It's really worth it. So I don't know if that bag is big enough to fill these 162 cells. After I fill them up, I'll let you know. But I ended up buying 3 of these just because I like to have some extra. It's dirt, so it's not like it's going to expire. The next thing you need to have is a grid. And so get you a grid. I made this just on my computer with Word, where you can just do columns and rows, and you just plug in how many columns and rows, and it basically sets you up a grid. Or you can do it with ruler and pen, but I can't draw a straight line, and even with a ruler I can't draw a straight line. So I did this just, quick, down and dirty. Each one of these, my seed starting tray is 9 cells by 18 cells. So I'm going to be planting different items going this direction, not this direction, because just the amount of things that I need is more like the 9-part series than the 18-part series, if you know what I'm saying. And then at the top, I basically just kind of got tomato, and I put a little tea, and these little cells are real small, but I'll be able to just kind of write in there what variety I'm going to be planting of the tomatoes. And I got it kind of broken down here where I got indeterminate and then determinate tomatoes. I got sweet pepper versus hot pepper, and then I also have a row here that I just call insurance, just in case I don't get 100% germination out of my tomatoes and peppers. Then I'll have a little bit extra just so that I get the numbers that I need. And that leads me to the last bit of information that you need before you get started, and that is an idea, a solid plan really, on how many of each variety you plan on growing. So based on my new garden that I'm setting up, I've come down with, these are my transplant needs, and this is for just the first round right here. So you can see I've got my tomato, pepper, cucumber, cantaloupe, watermelon, and sunflower. And so right now I need 90, but that doesn't count beans. So, and now I guess peas. So this is going to fill up. Obviously 90 is leaving me about 70 to be exact cells open, and then I'll fill that in with peas and beans, the zipper cream peas, these little marbles that they threw in for me, and just your dried beans. We're going to be growing some dried beans for the first time this year, and so I'll just fill it up. I'm not going to go into exactly what exact varieties yet on this video because I don't know. I haven't figured it out. So the next step will be just taking this bag here and filling this up. So nothing too crazy, nothing you probably want to see live, and I don't have a tripod. So there you go. Well, that took about, 30 seconds to do that. I just poured it in the middle, mounted it up, and used my hand to rake across all these different cells. You'll find some little debris in there that I just threw in the floor. Basically, I'll clean that up later. And just leveled it out initially. I do not pre-wet my my seed starting dirt. I just put it on there, and then when I water it in, it's gonna I soak it, and then I'll come back at that level will decrease, and then I will repeat with more of the the seed starting material. Put that on, water it in, repeat until it is sufficiently wet, and the soil line comes to the top of each cell. And that's pretty much it. It's just rinse and repeat. Now, there's a lot of YouTube videos out there. I see them. I watch a lot of YouTube as well. And I see everybody wanting to do their seed starting. I've seen people in, Michigan and further north than that starting their garden seeds, and that's fine. In fact, we usually start these seeds just a little earlier than what we're doing this time, but we're trying something different. In the years past, we started them maybe 3 weeks before now, and then we have to up pot everything. If you don't know what that means, that just means putting your little baby plants into a bigger vessel, and then the plants get bigger, and you end up transplanting larger plants. Well, buying this much larger seed tray here, what I'm wanting to do is I didn't want to wait because I've been chomping at the bit, but I did wait because I don't want to have to up pot anything. I want to try to, if I can, basically control myself and wait till now, then I believe and I hope that when it's time for these to go in the ground, they can go straight from the cells into the garden. And there'll be smaller plants, which is what I want. I don't want bigger plants. They say that the bigger the plant that you transplant, the more shock the plant will experience by doing that. So again, I don't know if this will be exactly perfect. This is just something you got to do. You got to have a garden log and put in there, hey, this year I started them on this date, and it either worked or it didn't. And so if it was a little too early, then you'll know next year. You might want to back off just a little hair. If it's too late, do the opposite direction. But this is what I'm trying. And the greatest thing about gardening is there's no one right way to do it. Anybody can do it their own way. There's, as they say, 100 different ways to skin a cat. So this is what I'm going to do. As far as timing, the process is still the same. But as far as the timing goes, this is when I'm going to start it. I'm going to put it in my garden log, and you'll know when I know if it was a little too early, if it was a little too late. But what I was getting at is gardening is not a hard science. If they're not big enough when it's time to put them in the ground, then I can wait another week and let them get a little bigger. That's not a problem. The problem comes in if they're too big and you got them sitting in these little cells here getting root bound. So we'll see if this works, and either way, they'll be fine. So don't get too caught up on, the exact day that I want to start this, especially if it's your first time. Don't get too caught up in, what all I have to have. Just get in there, get your hands dirty and have some fun. Well, as you can see, there's nothing crazy or high-tech about my setup here. Just a watering can. I do use hot water, so I have to go inside to the kitchen and get me some hot water from the tap. I don't really let it get hot or before I fill up. I just fill it up, and as hot as it gets, and then when I go back, I'll just get more of the same. Pour that into your cell tray and let it sit for a couple minutes. When you think it's wet enough, it's not. So do it again, water it again, and just keep repeating. You can see, or hopefully you can see, that some of the cells have already gone down in the amount of dirt they had in them. So I'm going to give this another water. I've probably watered this tray 3 or 4 times. I'll give it another good water, and then I'll take it back inside and fill it with more dirt. And like I said, just keep rinsing and repeating. So one thing I want to mention here real quick is I've already watered it, added more of the seed starting mix, and what I did is I went back and now I took my fingers and packed down each individual cell, and you can see that it packed down quite a bit. You got to remember, if you're doing it this way, this is pretty much all the dirt that these plants will have until they go into the garden. So you won't really want to maximize that. Plus, it's good to do anyway because you get rid of the air, and believe you me, this will settle. So if you don't pack it in real good as they grow and you water them, it'll turn this way anyway, whether you pack it down or not. So you might as well pack it down and fill it up again with all of the seed starting medium that you're going to use, so that it'll have just the best results possible for your new little seedlings. Well, I hope you've made it this far with me, because I want to share some information with you that I hope will help you out. First thing is, on the tray, no matter what tray you use, or if you're using any kind of tray, what you'll want to do is you'll want to mark one of the corners. So I don't know how well this picks up, but I took white, actually it's white paint that you use to cover like a scratch on your car or what have you. It comes in a nice little pin. And I just marked this corner here white, and then on my little grid here, that's why this is circled here. That's my orientation. So that way, no matter if you because you need to kind of move these trays around under your grow lights and get them, if you get perfect coverage. If you need a fan to kind of keep on your plants, but you need to rotate your tray. And if you don't mark a corner, then you can forget which end is up, which is down, which is left, which is right. So that's just a real good tip that I have been doing for years, and I thought it might help you out. Another little bit of information is, how much did this take? Well, I used I'd say about 85 to 90% of my seed starting mix, and that was 12 quarts, a little bit better than the weight that I gave you, but it's 12 quarts for that bag that I talked about previously. And I used just about, I'd say I got enough to do just excuse me, a little bit more, but not very much. So I'm glad I picked up some extra bags. So another thing that I did is I used hot water, and the reason I did that is, and I don't know that it's necessary, I used hot water to do all this wetting of the starter mix, because very next thing I'm going to do, which is here just in just a minute, is figure out what seeds I'm going to plant and plant them. And the water that we use here is well water, and it's ice cold. So these seedlings will go on a heat mat. And if it just makes sense to me that if you start with soil that's already warm, then it will just maintain its warmth or make it warmer. Whereas if I was using just the well water as it is, they'd be like little ice cubes instead of little cells in the planter tray. So I don't know that it's necessary. It just kind of makes sense to me in my world. Another thing you'll hear a lot of people talk about is not using city water for your seed starts because it's chlorinated. I've used city water in the past and to start seedlings. Didn't really notice any kind of issues with that. But if you want to be just on the safe side, if you're on a well, fine. But if not, just get you some water from the grocery store or what have you. You'll go through a lot more water than you think, like I said, because it takes quite a bit to soak this media. If you want to pre-soak it, you'll probably go through less water, but since we're on well, it's just water to us. So do what you want to do. So I had said that I was not planting everything this round, and that's true. Basically, this is almost everything. The only thing that I am going to be waiting on is my okra. The amount of seeds that I need to start is going to be, I'll be able to fill this tray, and it's just so early for okra. It's not time to even start the seeds, in my opinion. So I'm going to wait on that, and I'll probably get these in the ground and get started. I may even use the solo cups that we use here. We take solo cups and drill drainage holes in the bottom of them, and that's how we usually upstart our plants. So I may even use those for my okra. I'm not planning on growing, a ton of that this year because they produce so much. You don't need that many. So I may do that. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far. I'm just so excited to be finally getting my hands dirty, getting these seeds in some dirt so that they can hopefully grow and flourish and make a beautiful garden for us this year. So I hope you have stayed with me for the entire time. I hope you learned something. I hope you saw something that you liked. I hope you saw something you didn't like. If you did, either case, just comment below. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, we would appreciate that because we have a very small family here and we're growing very slowly. But if you don't, you don't. The other thing is that got a mosquito trying to get at me. The other thing is, gardening is a real fun thing. If you're only going to plant, 2 or 3 things, then you don't really have to get too elaborate with it. Some solo cups, a packet of seeds from the Dollar Tree. We have seeds galore, and we buy the vast majority of them from Dollar Tree. And if I get lower germination rates, that doesn't bother me because I know what I paid for them. The plants are identical to what you'll pay 4 or 5 times that for other places, and we just don't do that. So we plant our seeds. If we have empty cells, we come back in and replant more seeds. It's just not that difficult, and that's the thing that I'd like to really encourage people to do is to start a little garden, even if it's just a couple plants or a couple hundred plants. If you've never done it before, I'd suggest starting small, but just do it. If you fail, then just plant more seed, and that's all it takes. So anyway, I've rambled on enough on this video, and I'm going to do a follow-up to this and tell you exactly what varieties that we did plant. Got kind of a game plan for that. Got my big giant seed packages over there. I didn't mention where I got that. That's from Michael's. You can get that. It's to store photos in. And don't pay full price because they go on sale for a ridiculous amount off. I think they're like 75% off if you wait them out. So just if you want something like that, they are cheap, but again, don't pay full price for them. They're not worth it. Anyway, like I said, subscribe, like if you can, comment below, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Thanks.